Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trending Tonight, the only show on primetime Indian television where we care to explain the news behind the trend. So the news story that we are tracking today is that the CBI team is finally taking over the investigation in the Sushant Singh Rajput death case to find out what exactly happened. Now, it was a messy affair. Many agencies were there, but finally the CBI gets cracking. But can it go past its own track record? That's the question we are asking. Can it make sure that it delivers justice to Sushant Singh Rajput? Why am I saying this? Let me explain with the help of these graphics. First of all, to tell you what exactly is going to happen, the CBI Special Investigation Team is in Mumbai. Forensic experts are part of this particular team. You've got CBI, which is going to recreate the crime scene at Sushant's flat. They are going to do that. That is the reason why they are there. It's a special team, crack team. Doctors who perform the post-mortem will also be, there will be inquiry. They will ask questions to the doctors also. Actor Riya is likely to be questioned next week. We do not know whether in Delhi or Mumbai. The CBI team includes many officers, close to 20 crack team officers from Delhi as well as Mumbai. Now let's quickly tell you, why do we say that the CBI has to be able to deliver justice and go past its own track record? Well, the CBI's track record in the previous cases on your screen right now. Don't consider the CBI as an agency full of Sherlock Holmes. That's exactly what we want to say. So CBI's track record is this. In the Arushi murder case, the murder happened in the night intervening 15th and 16th of May 2008. The CBI told the court in April 2013 that Rajesh and Nupur Talwar killed Arushi and domestic help Hepraj. Then what happened in October 2017? On your screen right now, October 2017, the Allahabad High Court acquitted Rajesh and Nupur Talwar. The Allahabad High Court said can't hold guilty based on the evidence given. Then in the Jia Khan case, on the 2nd of June 2013, remember Jia Khan was found dead at her home. The needle of suspicion was on Suraj Pancholi. On the 3rd of July 2014, the case was transferred to the CBI. Charge sheet said that this is death by suicide. Suraj Pancholi was charged on charges of abetment to suicide. Charges have been framed and the case is still pending because abetment to suicide cases are very difficult to prove and the CBI seems to be struggling on that front. Then the Sheena Bora murder case. Murder happened on the 24th of April 2012. Indrani and Peter Mukherjee were the accused in this particular case. 18 September 2015, the case was transferred to the CBI. What is the truth right now? Even after 5 years, the case is yet to be closed, ladies and gentlemen. And then today, which was also spoken by Sharad Pawar, the Narendra Dabolkar murder case, shot dead on the 20th of August 2013. The case was transferred to the CBI in 2014, and for 6 long years, all that the CBI has been able to do is arrest 7 accused. The mastermind has still not been found. This is just the tip of the iceberg as far as CBI's investigations in high-profile cases are concerned, ladies and gentlemen, because there is the 2G case, the Aircel Maxis case, the Colgate case. On all these cases, in many of these cases, the CBI has not been able to prove the charges that it pressed in the charge sheet. Let me now go across to our guest this evening, Majid Memon, senior leader of the NCP and also a senior advocate with us. Mr. Majid Memon, in this case, given the circumstances that there were multiple agencies, I guess the Supreme Court also in its wisdom thought that perhaps it will be better. Perhaps it will be better if there is a CBI investigation. But given the CBI's own track record, do you think that they will really have to outperform themselves?
Well, now, in view of the orders of the Supreme Court, the whole nation, which is showing some kind of a sympathy towards Sushant's father, that they should get justice in the matter. But then the question is that whether the matter having been handed over to CBI would 100% ensure justice. This is a big question. Now, as you have rightly shown the track record of CBI during the past few years, I may also add to what all you have said, Arushi case and 2G case and several other cases where they made a mess, or sometimes, courts have even passed some very severe strictures saying that the investigation was very poor. In several cases we have seen. In 2G, I was myself one of the defense lawyers, so I know what are the observations made. Now, in this case, CBI itself is first, CBI has its own not 100% credibility. Recently, we have seen number 1 and number 2 were at loggerheads. Verma versus Asthana, and with allegations of corruption, counter-corruption allegations, etc. And unfortunately, it had a very dirty linen washed in public. Now, CBI itself is a large organization. So many officers are working under CBI. Now, which officers are going to be handed over this job, and how efficient, professional, honest they are would be one question. Now, number two, in this particular case, like Arushi case, as you said earlier, you see, the blame can always be made. Now, CBI, in case is unable to reach bottom of truth, CBI may make allegations against Bombay police, or CBI may make allegations against Bihar police.
What sort of allegations, sir?
Mess
If I
up.
may ask?
That they did not do their job well, and then we have come on the scene very late.
Preliminary investigation. But don't you think, Mr. Majid Memon, that this is actually a practical problem? I mean, with the CBI coming in 50, 60 days later, what precious little are they going to find?
No, but
I mean, they will have a
invariably this
mountain of a
happens.
task in front of them.
Now, see, one more thing I must clarify for your viewers' benefit in the instant case. See, CBI does not come on the day one. Local police takes cognizance as per the jurisdictional jurisprudence of the code, and thereafter, at the instance of the state, CBI comes, or there is a method by which CBI can jump in. CBI cannot on its own come and take over the case. Now, in the present case, you see, I am with highest respect to the Honorable Supreme Court. The case pertains to Mumbai because the territorial jurisdiction, according to the Criminal Procedure Code, is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So, Maharashtra government's consent was required for the purposes of inviting CBI to take over in a complicated case. Now, in this case, the Honorable Supreme Court has ruled that even Bihar police, Bihar government is justified in calling for CBI on their own sphere. You know, unfortunately, with respect, I would say that this is going to have some confusion in future, because this, if it is treated as precedent, then a crime takes place in Tamil Nadu, and I have interest in Punjab. So I would get one FIR registered in Punjab and get it transferred to CBI.
But then the counter argument is that there was no FIR in Mumbai in the first place. So the first FIR did happen in Bihar only. But I get your point on precedent. I think a lot has been spoken by the lawyers also. Mr. Majid Memon, please do stay on with us as I introduce my other guests also. For Mr. A.P. Singh, former CBI director, is with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for joining us. Niranjan Shetty, spokesperson of BJP Maharashtra, and Ujjwal Nikam, public prosecutor. Thank you so much, Ujjwal ji, for also joining us. Mr. A.P. Singh, a lot is being spoken about as far as the role of the CBI is concerned, the fact that they are coming to the scene of incident, I won't say crime, but the scene of incident late, very late. But don't you think that this is the nature of the job of the CBI, that you will always come in at the scene of action or the scene of crime or the scene of incident later, once it is recommended, a probe is recommended?
No, this is actually, this happens in conventional crimes. Okay, CBI is basically a corruption organization, anti-corruption organization. So it doesn't matter in anti-corruption cases. But in conventional crimes like murders, rapes, suicides, we are never the first responders. It's always the state police. Cases come to you a year later. In this case, it's 2 months. In Arushi, it was, I think, again, another month or month and a half. So a lot of damage is already done. I'm not saying that in this particular case, Maharashtra police hasn't done its job or anything like that. But I'm just saying in general, this is a problem that we are not the first responders, so we do not reach the scene of crime first. Having said that, what really in this case is, it's not very, very difficult for CBI. I do not think so. I think that first of all, you have to determine whether it was a suicide or it could have been some other crime, like, it could have been a murder, or it's a suicide. So first, CBI has to clarify that very clearly. Once you've clarified that it was suicide, as even the father who was instituted this case says that he had committed suicide, then the question comes, abetment to suicide. Now, abetment to suicide is not an easy
oh no, it's not.
Allegation to prove. In fact, the Supreme Court has always maintained that there has to be positive action on the part of the accused, who you suspect of having
and Mr. Singh, if you look at some of the old cases, For instance, the Jia Khan case, for instance, the Gopal Kanda case, Gitika Sharma case, and also the Shashi Tharoor case. In all these cases, these are high-profile cases. It has been very, very difficult to prove a case of abetment to suicide. Just to further your point.
That's the point I'm saying, that even the Supreme Court says that there has to be positive action on the part of the accused which led to or compelled the person to commit suicide. So the person actually has to be almost there.
Okay.
You know?
Sure.
And normally you use abetment to suicide in anti-dowry cases. Usually it used to be where the girl is harassed by the in-laws.
Yeah.
And she's forced to commit suicide. So in those cases, yes, abetment to suicide can be proved. But in a case like this,
it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, but then again, the CBI, see, that's the reason why this jurisdiction mess, this probe mess, the Supreme Court in its wisdom decided that CBI is going to perhaps be the best option available under these given circumstances.
It could have been any. Even Bombay police would have a problem in proving abetment to suicide. You know?
Sure. Ujjwal Nikam.
The circumstances have to be such.
Okay. Ujjwal Nikam, now I want to come to you and I'll ask this question of Mr. Singh also a little later and Mr. Shetty and all the others. Ujjwal Nikam, the track record of the CBI, that's what we are discussing. See, CBI has been brought in as an agency which is going to, which will be the know-it-all, the agency with the resources, with the sleuths, people who will move in fast and get us the all-crucial answer in this very, very difficult puzzle called Sushant Singh Rajput's death. But CBI's own record in many high-profile cases has been pretty bad. I mean, I've just sampled a few. I have many other examples.
So you want to allege that since the track record of the CBI is bad, and therefore CBI is not going to investigate the crime? Do you want to allege that?
Absolutely not.
Then
I'm just stating a piece of history, nothing else.
Now, all right. I can understand the history, but history doesn't mean that the future course will be the same course what had happened earlier.
That's why, Mr. Nikam, the question was, will the CBI deliver justice?
See, I'm telling you, in a given case, I'm telling you, now the Supreme Court judgment is a historical judgment. For three reasons. Mumbai police happy because their investigation was not slammed. Then Bihar police is happy because the Bihar police had requested the matter be entrusted to the CBI. Bihar government is happy. And even the common man is happy because this investigation is entrusted to the premier investigating agency of our country. Now the problem is this. Whether CBI would be successful in achieving its goal, which a common man is expecting.
Correct.
Let me tell you very clearly, the whole case based on the circumstantial evidence. See, I have appeared on behalf of the CBI in serial Bombay bomb blast case of 93, as well as the Khairenji massacre. I have an experience of the CBI, how it was. I'm not going to praise CBI also. I'm telling you this very frankly. I'm not going to praise, I'm not going to say plus or minus point either in favor or against the CBI.
Sure.
Let me tell you, this is an institution. Now, this institution is being also criticized by the Supreme Court in a judgment that is a case parrot. I don't want to say. And therefore, what I was expecting in this case especially, when the common man has a ray of hope that this investigation must be done properly in order to find out the truth and what is the false and truth and falsehood. Now, if CBI fails to do proper investigate the matter, the common man will be frustrated. I'm telling you this very frankly. So it's an onerous burden and the duty upon the CBI to do investigation properly. But now the problem is this. CBI is coming in the picture after 2 months of the incident, right?
Yeah.
Now, the whole case rests on the circumstantial evidence. And in the circumstantial evidence, the panelists would also agree that when case based on the circumstantial evidence, the investigator has to collect the pieces of the circumstance to connect the accused with the crime.
Correct.
Now, in a given case, the problem is this, that Mumbai police, while making an inquiry under section 174 of CRPC, they have recorded a statement. Now, over-enthusiastic certain electronic media, print media, they also summoned witnesses on record on the channel. They have recorded, they had interviewed the witnesses. They had taken the statement, another said. Some, again, private detectives, investors, they also recorded a statement of one person. So now CBI will record. So if a Mr. A statement will be recorded, there will be a false statement. So who is going to be benefited? Accused is going to be benefited. He's going to contradict, and he's going to confront all these statements. So this is the big hurdle before the CBI. Number one. Number two, there are many allegations are made against the Mumbai police. Mumbai police has not done. Mumbai police has not done. Then the CBI will require to find out what is the truth and what is the false in Mumbai police inquiry. Because ultimately, this inquiry under section 174, that is in respect of the inquest to death. So circumstances leading to the death. Now, in this case, it's a very interesting thing which had happened. I must tell you that the jurisdiction according to law, the jurisdiction competent court is only Mumbai court, where the incident had occurred, right?
Correct.
This is the CRPC is very clear, section 177 of CRPC. Now, the Bihar police is alleging that part of the cause of action accrued also in Bihar because Sushant's father is staying at Bihar, in Patna. Now, that is, they said that 178, 179, in view of the section 179 of CRPC, the ensuing consequence means father is staying. That is absolutely wrong approach.
No, so Mr. Nikam, do you feel that that this crisis is, the crisis of jurisdiction is far from settled? That these problems will still occur? I guess the Supreme Court, I guess the Supreme Court made it very clear.
The Supreme Court has given the verdict saying that Bihar, Mumbai police is doing this inquiry properly. If complainant has a right to lodge the complaint in Patna, I agree. Any Indian citizen can lodge a complaint at anywhere. The debatable question is that who will investigate and where to be charged. Now, in a given case, I'm telling you what will happen. I'm going to. Suppose CBI arrests some people. Where there's arrest, where they will take the remand, they have to go to the Patna. When a Mumbai person, Mumbai accused, will be going to Patna and he'll be charged.
I think this is a very important point. Niranjan Shetty, would you like to come in here? I think Ujjwal Nikam has raised a very, very pertinent point that because the complex nature of jurisdiction that this particular matter or this particular case has thrown up is going to continue to present challenges in the future also. And thus, perhaps, I'm only assuming, I may be wrong, and pardon me for this assumption, thus complicating matters in terms of investigation for the CBI. Niranjan Shetty.
Yeah. First of all, Sanket, initially when you began with the opening remarks, I was very much apprehensive whether the, you mentioned about the CBI track record, but after seeing the panelists and all the senior most counsels over here, I'm happy that the debate would be in a very transparent manner and a very judicious manner.
No, absolutely.
Having said
it will always be like that.
I accept.
You have appeared on my debates, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm rest assured with you. Sanket, I know you very well. I do. But initially there was an apprehension. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure, sir.
I do agree that I do agree as the senior counsel, the Ujjwal Nikam mentioned that, there are many things in the past. Of course, there are histories of CBIs, but then of course, under who were the political bosses, that you need to understand. Secondly, I would like to mention what you question about. Now, I'm not that so much learned as Ujjwal Nikam is, but then it is right before the Supreme Court. And it was because of these two states problems that had occurred. And I think the CBI has its office in Mumbai. And as far as jurisdiction is concerned, I don't think the CBI has specific jurisdiction. Of course, all the investigations.
No, Mr. Shetty. See, Ujjwal Nikam will tell you that there is a court where these people have to be presented, right? And absolutely. Where is that court going to be? That's how the legal system vis-a-vis the CBI also works. For instance, in the 2G case, a special CBI court was in the Patiala House Court in New Delhi. Similarly, where will this be? Do you think these issues will be far from settled?
Probably. I think it will be within the it will be within the country, somewhere within the country.
Of course, it will be in the country.
Nikam rightly said, and as Ujjwal Nikam rightly said, probably it may be in Mumbai. So there is no harm.
No. Sorry.
Ujjwal
I'm disturbing you. I'm sorry, I don't want to disturb you, my friend. But you see, the FIR is being lodged in Patna. And the CBI is investigating the matter on the basis of the FIR
in Patna,
which was lodged in Patna. And therefore, the Patna court has a jurisdiction. and not Mumbai
Fair
court.
enough.
And this is
Sir, I
this is
respect-
against the settled. See, I'm telling you, just a minute. And this is against the settled principle of law that section 177 of CRPC says that where the offence has been committed, only that place, that court has a jurisdiction competent to try it. That is the whole problem. I'm
AP
telling
Singh,
you.
would you like to answer this
Yeah.
question? You're the CBI director. Have you ever, first of all,
Yeah.
come across
Yeah,
a
so-
conundrum like this, Mr. Singh?
No. So the court in jurisdiction will be where the case has been registered, and the case has been registered by CBI. CBI would have
Yes.
registered a fresh case, and that would be in Delhi. That would be because it's a central unit. I'm not sure whether it's been registered in Bombay or in Delhi.
No, it is
Yeah.
already registered in Delhi. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It is already
So
registered in
that would
Delhi.
be that would be the jurisdiction there.
Okay. It's interesting to know these things from people who have seen it all, known it all. Majid Memon, my
Yeah.
final question to you. The complexities that this case has thrown up, do you think or do you not that this is just going to increase the tension level or the difficulty level of the task ahead of the CBI?
No, Sanket, you see, in criminal law, there are two stages. Once the crime is committed, it is detected, it is reported, and the FIR makes the investigation start. Now, investigation continues till it is culminated and charge sheets are filed. Now, as Mr. Nikam rightly said, that the charge sheet would be filed only where the crime has been registered. Now, in this case, if we are following Bihar FIR, then certainly the whole scene will shift to Bihar, and a Bihar local magistrates court would be the
Now
concerned
imagine
court where
how is that
where-
going to be practical?
where-
That when
now,
all
one
your
minute.
protagonists
Let
are in
me-
Mumbai.
Just give me 1 minute. That's precisely what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, that would create a lot of confusion and hardship, and also, if I would not be wrong in saying miscarriage of justice, that all the witnesses and the accused and people who are all in Mumbai, because the incident has occurred in Mumbai, will have to parade to
Okay.
Patna court, which is certainly not in
Okay.
the best interest of justice.
Okay.
But one more, I may supplement to say
Yeah.
that Supreme Court has still powers to shift the venue of trial in the interest of justice, as Supreme Court has done in several Gujarat cases. The incidents have occurred in Gujarat. Investigation was conducted in Gujarat.
Okay.
Charge
We
sheet
have,
was
we have
filed
run
in
out of
Gujarat.
time, but Ujjwal
But
Nikam,
still the trials have
Niranjan
taken
Shetty,
place in
Majid
Mumbai.
Memon, as well as Mr. AP Singh, what we tried or
Okay.
attempted
Can I
to
just
highlight in
clarify?
this case, what we attempted to highlight, thank you so much, gentlemen. What we attempted here was to tell our viewers how complicated this investigation is right at the very beginning. The CBI has taken up a very complicated investigation. Add to that its own track record of not having done so well in these high-profile cases. Let us hope that justice is delivered. Good night and goodbye.